So let's talk for a minute about the difference between phase 1 burnout and phase 2 burnout. Because they're not the same, and you definitely don't want to treat them the same. So as life catches up, right, we're finding actually that it used to be around 45, now it's around 35, and I just heard recently that people as young as 25 are now experiencing burnout, right? So burnout is a combination of, it's not so much too much on your plate as much as it's not knowing how to relate effectively to what is on your plate, right? So burnout can come from trauma, it can come from, poor health habits. A lot of times it comes from mindset, just poor, like habits and beliefs, right? So and what happens is they accumulate over time. I work with women, so typically what I see is women over 35. Most women have decided to buy into the conditioning of people pleasing, playing it small, not using their voice, not setting boundaries. And even to this day, like I've been a boundaried person my entire life and really outspoken, and yet I still to this day find blind spots where I'm like not wanting to rock the boat. And I have to confront that, right? So like it's an ongoing thing. It's not like you're just ever like fixed, right? But when you are betraying the body over and over and over and over again, whether that's through poor physiological, physical habits, or because you've just decided that abandoning and rejecting yourself for a lifetime is somehow not going to catch up to you, like this is essentially what leads to that burnout, because the body can only manage so much for so long. And trauma is a huge part of it. So anytime we go through something, again, it's not so much what happened, but how we relate to it. So I always use the example, like one person's critic is another person's contender. Like I don't look at social media criticism as like, oh my gosh, they don't like me. It's like, yeah, bring it on. So depending on how you look at what's happening to you is how you relate to it, and therefore how it's going to affect you long term. Because anything that gets stuck on the vagus nerve level in terms of that trauma, it skips like a record and it just eats away at your life force. So a lot of our stress is conscious, a lot of it's not. A lot of it is buried shit that we don't want to look at, but on that subconscious level, it is draining your battery. So like I said, there's 2 different phases to burnout. The first phase, so depending on your physiology, like you could stay here for a few months and crash out, or you could stay here for years. A lot of high functioning women will stay in the first phase of burnout for years. I'm always shocked because my body won't let me, but a lot of women can. And this is basically where you've decided that no one else can help you. You just have to keep going. It's characterized by fight or flight, hypervigilance. So there's a sense of like either what's going to go wrong next, or if I take my foot off the pedal, everything will fall apart. There's like that shoe drop feeling. And so it's characterized as well by anxiety, right? So you're not settled, you're not grounded. Insecurity, you're not sleeping. So this is where you're high functioning, but at a cost, right? Cortisol is getting backed up in the liver. Now your sex hormones are a mess, right? And the other thing is, a lot of women think that they're in perimenopause when they're not, like when they're actually dealing with burnout. Because burnout, when cortisol gets high enough, it does 2 things. It causes HPA dysregulation. It also causes what's called pregnetyl stealing. So it starts to siphon your sex hormones to keep up with the production of cortisol. And this can look like perimenopause when really it's just HPA dysfunction. So anyway, that tired, wired, go, anxious feeling, you're just trying to stay in control. That would be the phase 1. Phase 2 is where the adrenals said, we're done. And this is, you go from not being able to sleep at all to not being able to function at all. Now we're in a state where you'll sleep 12 hours, no problem. But you get overwhelmed easily. So instead of tackling things as they come, you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to answer that email? Oh my gosh, I have to go to the bank. Oh, I have to take out the trash. Like little things start to overwhelm you more. And the like characteristics of how you feel be like apathy, depression, lack of motivation, lack of joy. Like this is more type 2 adrenal burnout. And this is where like most people kind of submit. Like unfortunately a lot of people, women, sorry, we're women, a lot of women just say, okay, I guess this is what it is. And when they're seeking solution, they're told, of course you're tired, you're getting older, of course you're tired, it's perimenopause, or they just get labeled, right? They can no longer function and they're not actually getting the solutions that they need. And so when you're dealing with treating it, it's the same, but it's different, right? So we have to get the body with type 1 or phase 1, you have to get the body back into parasympathetic as opposed to sympathetic dominance. You want to be parasympathetic. So there needs to be this kind of like, you get up, you do your day, but you can relax at the end of the day, right? And you can unwind at the end of the day and turn off. Whereas in the second phase, you have to jumpstart things. And this is why, if you're really burnt out, this is also why like those adaptogens like ashwagandha like aren't helpful. If you're in phase 2 burnout, like you need cortisol. Your cortisol is just tanked. It's literally just, it's out. So you're running low cortisol, so you don't want to blunt the responses. Whereas like in the first phase, it's too much, right? So using an adaptogen is appropriate, but it's not appropriate in the second phase because you don't have enough, right? So even though you feel the stress, it's a different kind of like physiological or emotional reaction as opposed to the first phase. The first phase, it's like the machine just won't stop. The second phase is we gotta reboot that. We gotta get it turned back on. And phase 2 is we have to get the sympathetic as well as the parasympathetic back online, right? So it's both. Whereas the first one, it's about making sure the system doesn't crash and reintegrating that parasympathetic process back into your system. So there's two different, like I said, there's two different situations that women can find themselves in. If you're still functioning high, I do recommend that you do an intervention before you crash, because it will crash. You will crash. Like, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And then, of course, if you truly are moving into perimenopause or menopause, then things just get exasperated. And now you're asking yourself, like, okay, why am I gaining weight when I haven't changed my diet? And I go to the gym after work every day. Like, why are things not working? And this is because, again, cortisol is running rampant. It's affecting not just your sex hormones, but it's affecting your blood sugar level, your ability to get insulin back into the cells, because insulin and cortisol will always compete on that cell receptor level. And now you're like, well, shit, now I'm tired, wired, brain fog, and now I'm gaining weight, right? This is also why if you're trying to get in shape, it's like almost impossible to like lose weight while the system's going haywire, right? It's like pouring gasoline into an engine that's not working. Like, you're not going to go anywhere. Okay, we put gas in the car, but the engine's screwed, right? So you have to recalibrate the engine, and then once you do that, the body will work with you. Like, a totally will just it has its own homeostasis, and it remembers what to do. But until you've cured that, like, it doesn't matter. Cortisol, the other thing about cortisol is too much cortisol. Like, you're like, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing all these things. Cortisol is catabolic. If you're not sleeping and you've got tons of cortisol running through your veins, I can almost guarantee you're catabolizing your muscles more than you are actually building them up. So it's really important to get this back into its proper framework. And age doesn't have anything to do with it. Like, let's stop buying into that. That's a buy-in. Let's quit. Like, let's put our money someplace else, right? Let's buy into wellness and the fact that the body is primed for restoration and recalibration, and stop buying into the fact that with age things blow, because they don't. You just have to reset yourself. So anyway, my name is Paige Elizabeth. I'm a health and mindset coach, and I help women over 35 recalibrate from burnout. And if you're interested and you would like some help, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would love to connect with you as well.